Well, good morning, everybody. And yes, I'm still giddy about being in Quartzsite, Arizona. It's November 16th at 5:35 a.m. Quartzsite in the desert, boondocking. I'm just so happy to be here. Oh, so this is my fourth year here in Quartzsite, Arizona, and all in the same spot. I've been parked. Well, the first year was maybe 100 feet over from here, but this is the third year in this exact spot. In the video today, I'll be doing a walk around so you can see in a little bit more detail where I am and what things look like so far. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read you the comments, your comments, and talk about them. And the first one is on Radio Flakes. And on full-time video I did quite some time ago, I don't know when, but maybe a year ago, RV Full-Time on Social Security, the Ultimate Guide. Radio Flakes says, it can be done on $2,000 a month, including 4 nights at a full hookup site, $500 for groceries, $300 for gas, $200 for miscellaneous. How do I know? Because I do it. You also need to have solid mechanical and electrical skills and an emergency cash reserve. Well, let's break this down a little. Very interesting. And no doubt that he's doing this. And there's a couple strategies in here that aren't, completely obvious right away. But let's talk about what I think those strategies are. One is it can be done for $2,000 a month, and that's pretty close. It's a little above the average. I think the average Social Security check is about $1,750, if I'm correct, or very close to that. So he's a little above the average. So $2,000 a month. And he says 4 nights at a full, and all these numbers are going to be on a monthly basis, right? So 4 nights at a full hookup site. He's thinking, well, there's 30 days in a month. What's he talking about, 4 nights? Well, he's probably has the strategy that I'm going to get to this in a minute. He's obviously traveling pretty constantly, right? So he's going to, once a week, he'll go to an RV park and stay there for the night, dump his tanks, get fresh water, use the electricity, charge up batteries, things like that, use the facilities, like maybe a pool or all kinds of stuff that you can do. And then the next day he'll get back on the road. $300 for gasoline. That's where I'm getting that. If you're spending, I'll spend probably $300. I won't spend $300 in gasoline maybe for the whole winter here, unless I go to, it depends on how many trips I take down to Yuma. But if I'm not doing that, I'm not spending money because I'm not traveling. But if he's spending $300 a month, he's on the road. He's traveling, almost every day or every week at least. $500 for groceries. That's a healthy amount, but that's when I'm not really disciplined and paying attention. That's certainly what I'm spending for just a single guy. $500 a month. $200 for miscellaneous. Absolutely. And he says, how do I know? Because I do it. And based on those numbers and how he's presenting it, I have no doubt you're doing it radio for sure. And thanks for sharing that. It reinforces what I was trying to say in that video, that you can, if you try to retire on Social Security and try to rent a house or pay a mortgage or it's almost impossible. But this lifestyle, so obviously if 4 nights a week he's in a full hookup site, but 26 nights he's probably he's boondocking somewhere. And I imagine he's probably in the West. There may be ways to do it in the East and the Southeast, but it's rough because there's so much BLM land out here in the West. It's really easy to do. Very easy to do. So Radio, I'd love to hear more from you. That's a great comment. Thank you. On Quartzsite bound today, secure everything. It was a video on when you're about to take off. look at all the stuff inside your rig. And I gave all the examples of the things that I got to do something with. I just can't hook up and start towing, or things are going to go flying. It'll be a mess and things are going to break. So that was that video. And Ken Gray says, good information. Thanks. And there's another Radio Flakes responded to another Social Security video I did. So I think he was probably researching maybe Social Security videos. Just since he's already doing it, he wasn't trying to figure out how to do it. He was probably just interested in the subject like I am. Full-time RV life Social Security, you can do it. Radio Flakes again says, I use Starlink for high-speed data, $50 a month for 50 gigabytes anywhere. Otherwise, I use my phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot or tethered to my computer with a USB cable for standard speeds but unlimited data. I have an old Samsung Galaxy S10 phone on a senior plan, an extra line for my son through T-Mobile at $70 a month. If I pause my Starlink, then I only use my phone as a data source. Two birds, one stone. Your videos are very concise and relaxing. That's a refreshing contrast to the happy, happy, joy dog and cat RV show with the upbeat music videos that are not for me. Subscribe. Thank you. Now, he edited this only because when he first posted it, now, Radio, correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, shame on me. But it didn't mention the data limit. It says I get Starlink for $50 a month. And that might get some people very excited. So I asked the question, what's the data limit for the $50 plan? And I think the edit was he put it in there. It's 50 gigabytes. So he elaborates, though. It says on Starlink, it's 50 gigabytes a month for $50. But since I only use it for high-speed data transfers, I don't come near that limit. I use my phone data plan for everything else, but if I wanted unlimited data on Starlink, it's $150. I don't know if you're grandfathered into something, but the new Roam plan is now $165, unless they've changed that. Let me check. Let's Starlink. Let's see. I really strive to get accurate information on here. So I'm going to the Starlink website, and it's hesitating. Why are you hesitating? Let's reload that. There we go. Service address. Let's order now. I just put it in a random address. Well, it's making me put in a full address. Let's see. Optional accessories. Come on, let me look at all the services that are available. It's only giving me the main plan. It's not. Let's see. Service plans. Okay. Roam Unlimited. Well, for the 50 gigabyte is 50 gigabyte. It's $50 a month. And that's whether you have the big dish or the mini dish. It doesn't matter. If you want Roam Unlimited, it's $165 a month. If it's residential, which most of you aren't going to be interested in, because, well, some of you are you're watching these videos because you're thinking about this in the future. You can get residential for $120 a month. So those are the current prices. So let's go back. But if I wanted unlimited data on Starlink, it's $150. Well, sadly, it's now $165. If I go over the 50 gigabyte limit, it's $1 per additional gigabyte used. That wouldn't work for me. I use my Starlink constantly, and I can use close to a terabyte in a month. So I definitely, and I'm lucky. I still have a residential plan what they used to call portability, so I can take it anywhere. That doesn't exist anymore. I'm grandfathered into it, and I'm also, I didn't realize it, until this happened, I'm grandfathered into my old price of $145. So I'm $20 under what a new person would pay. Plus, I have residential service now. Like the current Rome price, the 165, it's deprioritized. Well, with mine, it's deprioritized too when I'm wandering around, but when I'm at what Starlink considers my home address, I have high priority. And guess where that is? Quartzsite, Arizona. And my address is the LTVA here. So why is that important? Well, it's important because so many people on Starlink now. When the masses come in December and January here, almost everyone's going to be on the Roam program, and they're going to be deprioritized. Guess who's going to be prioritized ahead of them? Me and Dottie. So radio, I'm so glad to have you as a subscriber, and you come with this valuable experience, very well written, engaged. Thank you. So next one is youngest TED Talk. The positive news number 249, and that is a young lady, a teenager, who's giving a TED Talk, which is a big deal. TED Talks are people are invited that have really important things to say, and they say them well. So to be invited to do a TED Talk is incredible and really extraordinarily rare if you're young like that, under 18, basically a child technically. And she engaged in some pretty unique volunteer work and inspired a lot of people. And so Ken Gray says, love that drive and purpose. Yeah, she's an amazing young person. On Quartzsite bound today, secure everything. Can't leave the puppy on the bed. This is from Stacy Jones. You actually had me laughing out loud. Thank you for supplying this information. Really appreciate it. So what she's saying is I'm going from thing to thing, saying if I don't secure this, it's going to go over the place, and this, you might want to pay attention to this. Then I got to the bed, and Dottie was there, and I said, if I don't secure this, this dog's going to fly all over the trailer. And of course, I don't leave my dog in the trailer, or the cat, or George. Right, George? George is sleeping. Too bad you can't see George. George is down there in Dottie's bed on the floor sleeping. Right, Dottie? No, it's 5 a.m. it's early for my animals. And Quartzsite bound today again. Pasansky says, good luck, have a great day. Can't wait to see your next video. And the next comment is on that next video. It's called Quartzsite Arrival from Pahrump. And Massage by Arnold says, good morning, Rob. So glad he made it safely. We're leaving Quartzsite now, headed back home. There's a huge semi and car accident near Super 8 Motel. Eastbound on I-10 is closed by Love's gas station, just FYI. Yeah, I heard about that. That's on this. If you come to Quartzsite, get on Facebook, Quartzsite Chatter, join that group, because you're going to get the current stuff there. And if there's a big accident on I-10, you don't want to get on 10. Like yesterday, people were trapped for hours. So you get on Quartzsite Chatter. As soon as it happens, the bang of a big accident, people are on there. What was that bang? And it sort of evolves from there. Let's see. M. Campbell on Youngest TED Talk, the Youngest TED Talk one, says, parents who teach kindness by example and teach their kids are special. I agree. Randy. Hey, Randy. Quartzsite bound today on Secure Everything. Good morning. Anything and everything not secured or put away will decorate the inside of your RV. Have a great day. For Dottie. Love for Dottie and George. She did a heart for Dottie and George. Chip Miller on Quartzsite bound today. Secure everything. Safe travels. The temperature here in Quartzsite are great, and he was not kidding. He's not kidding. What is it out? It's 47. And it's 79 in here. There's going to be 2 videos that I'm going to do today, and one of them is going to be on my heat source. How I heat my rig in when I'm boondocking. And I think it's worth doing because I've been through so many iterations of different methods of heating, from the onboard furnace to the Mr. Buddy heater, the Buddy heater, to the Camco catalytic heater, to the solution that I have now, Empire Heating Infrared, and how that evolved and why I think the solution I have now is proven to me to be the best boondocking solution for heating, from a convenience and energy usage standpoint. So I'm excited to do that video. Then the other video is, I already need to go to the grocery store, so we're going to go in. I need to do a couple of things today. I need to go into the grocery store, so we'll go into probably Coyote Fresh, one of the local ones, and I'll do that. And also, I need to find one of these 4 LTVA offices open so I can buy my permit. I've been here 2 days now, and I still don't have my permit because every time I go to buy one, they're closed. And then I need to buy some big nail spikes to put out my outdoor rug. I can't find the ones from last year. So anyway, let's see, what's the next one? Randy, very sweet story, and that's the youngest TED Talk video. M. Campbell says, on Quartzsite arrival from Pahrump, you're positively bubbly with excitement, aren't I? Glad you had a good trip. Do you happen to know the story of that old rare car on the left at 11 minutes 30 seconds? No idea, not a clue. Blazer Ebal, Blaze Rebel, Blazer Ebal, Blaze Rebel. Welcome to Q. Looking forward to saying hi. Well, yeah, that's great. I see lots. Like last year, almost every time I went into town, which is almost daily, I would run into subscribers and say hi, and sometimes a lot of times. All right, I don't know if you noticed there, but the video stopped rather abruptly. And it's because I got that message that was, what is this very strange thing? I don't know. There's strange things on my screen here. Dynamic framing. Yeah, I don't want to do dynamic framing. I just want to do regular framing. Well, and I don't want it to track me. I just want there. So anyway, I got the message up that said, your SD card is full. And I have the biggest SD card this camera will address, which means I haven't been paying attention. I had a ton of old videos out there. So I deleted like 40, and there's still more out there. I think I was saying, just read I'll get to why I just chuckled in a second. That I was saying, I run into subscribers every time I go into town, and I just love it, and I love meeting y'all. So on Quartzsite Bound, Randy came back and said, please ask me how I know. And she's referring to her prior comment of things will fly all over if you don't take care of it. I bet you're, Randy, I'm asking, how do you know, Randy? Let's see what she says, maybe tomorrow. Zareth the Chemist. That's an interesting name. I bet there's a good story there. Quartzsite arrival from Pahrump. Glad you had a smooth sail. Enjoy Q. Keep uploading too. I will. Minimum of 3 a day. My Nomadic Dream says, good morning, Rob. It was a true pleasure meeting you yesterday. Nomadic Dream is camped right here. I need to subscribe to his channel. So let's open link in new tab. My Nomadic Dream, I'm going to hit. I'm Herbie, and I travel with my dog Hope. She's a 16-year-old Chihuahua Chihuahua Porn Mix, welcome to our channel where we'll be sharing the struggles and joys of my nomadic journey with you all. Join me as I document the process of working towards becoming a full-time work camper and explore the beauty of life on the road with my 2023, that's a new one, Rockwood Mini Light 2104S and trusty 2011 Ram 1500 Laramie. I'll talk him into doing a tour of his rig, do a video on that. Get ready for breathtaking landscapes, incredible experiences, and a whole lot of wanderlust. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join me on this incredible journey. Well, that's pretty cool. So I'm subscribed. I hit the subscribe button. So that's easy to do. And just type in My Nomadic Dream and you will find his channel. And like his latest video is the back way into La Posa South and Quartzsite. There's one haircut in the Quartzsite desert. Anyway, check him out. I'm going to. And I just responded to that, said, hey, Herbie. And Ken Gray on the same video says, once you get used to the rear view, you'll figure out how to flip it. Take your time to set up. Remember, there's no schedule and you can relax. Absolutely 100% correct. So what he's talking about is, as I was driving in this video, I have like this LED rear view and it's a camera on the back of my trailer and it was friggin' upside down. And it's not that I didn't take time to set up. I didn't notice it was upside down because the rear view wasn't like a road or anything. I wasn't really paying that close of attention. So I was on the road driving, looking in back, and everything's upside down. And I wasn't, and it's like there's a menu, so I'm driving and I put the menu option, which I should not have done. And, you know, Ken knows I shouldn't have done that. And, but he's too nice a guy to say, hey, Rob, you shouldn't be going through the menu while you're driving. Even a second of distraction can be disaster for you and Dottie and George and maybe somebody else on the road. So I'll say that for you, Ken. You're too nice a guy to say that. But it turns out there's like a little transmitter that plugs into the cigarette lighter, or it's a receiver. It receives the signal from the camera, and there's a flip button on that. And at the last minute, I remembered it. I didn't even take my eyes off the road. I went down there, felt for the button, pressed it, and it bloop, flipped it up, right side up. So again, thank you, Ken. Anna Marie Sikorsky on my driving dirty. You drove right by it when you turned the corner, Rob. That's because I'm driving. It's a driving video. Said I gotta stop and get gas. That's the last thing I have to do. And as I'm blabbing on about something, either tariffs or Medicare, probably Medicare. And I just drove right by it. And then at the last second, as I'm pulling into home, I go, oh, I forgot to get gas. So I turned around. And she's right. I drove right by it. But I was not paying attention. I was jabbering away. And Randy says, Quartzsite arrival. Yay, you made it safely. So happy for you. Enjoy. And I am. Your comments, Ken Gray says, laugh out loud, Garmin in reach is a thing, out of reach is a joke. Your Garmin was having problems with the mapping. Okay, yeah, I was saying in a video that my Garmin was like, kept cycling when I turned it on, it wasn't working, and I was wondering, you know, am I going to need to replace that? And Ken made a comment, and he said, sounds like your Garmin is in an out of reach condition. And I'm like, I wonder what that is. And I Googled it. There's no such thing. Well, he was making a joke because Garmin Reach is a big Garmin product, I guess. And he was making a joke saying, well, maybe your Garmin's out of reach. Yeah, so I didn't get it. I get it now, though. Robert Burns in Quartzsite Arrival, congrats on getting to your Quartzsite campsite safely. Is your door opening to the west, east, or south? None of the above. So what's left? My door opens to the north. And this is a very specific reason for this. One is on my doorway and my refrigerator are on this side. So in this winter, the north side is going to be in shade pretty much all day. And that's good for the refrigerator because you have that refrigerator side and the vent in the sun that can overwork your refrigerator. It'll cause more propane to be used. I run my fridge on propane when I'm boondocking. And but it gives me a nice, comfortable place to sit outside. And the other side, the southern side, is where I have all my solar panels lined up. So the sun is on the solar panels all day. So north is good for me. Renascuta. Are there any areas at Quartzsite that people are territorial about if you're there before their arrival? It's not allowed. You can't reserve a spot. You can't even suggest to someone that they can't be camping where they are. There are no designated campsites anywhere in the LTVA or the BLM land. Just as long as you are 15 feet away from anyone, you are legal. The only other thing is if you don't have a black tank, you need to be within 500 feet of a pit toilet. That's not really applicable here. If you're camping someplace and someone comes up and says, hey, you're in my spot, this is where I camp every year, that means nothing. Now you can say, if it's not a big deal for you, for me, if I hadn't set up yet and someone says, I really want to camp there, I'd go, okay, I'll go 100 yards that way. I don't care. But if I'm all set up like I am now, nothing but a ranger is going to get me to move because it's be such a big job. But it isn't. You don't have to worry about where you're camping and having someone tell you can't be there. And if someone does and they give you a hard time, go to the office or call the Yuma BLM office and tell them what happened. They might send a ranger out. I don't know. But anyway, or you can find maybe the camp host and get them to help you. So, and there's a duplicate. I don't know. There's her comment in my response is duplicated. Don't know why. Montana wife. Quartzsite arrival. Hi, Rob. Glad I subscribed to yesterday. That's great when people subscribe. That means, hey, I see what you're doing here and I want to see more. That's all that means. And you might notice I don't do the please subscribe thing because I stole this idea from Wonder Hussy Adventures. She said, you know what? I don't ask for that because people are adults and they're smart and they know what subscribing is and they know whether they want to subscribe to me or not without me like telling them or asking them to do it. So it is like that. I like that. That's different. But here's the thing. Here's the way I think about it. I do my videos, and what I'm asking you to do by implication when you watch my videos is suffer through those commercials. I hope you hit the skip button. Just skip them. So you don't have, unless you're interested in the commercial, watch it. But boy, it's a rare thing for me to be interested enough not to hit that skip button. I do it all the time. You should do it too. And some people say, well, don't you get more money if people don't skip? Of course I do, but who cares? I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it because I loved it. Look at my face. I love doing this. It's fun. It's a hobby. And I want you to love the videos too. So hit the skip. So I'm already asking you to do something uncomfortable is suffer through my commercial. Why would I keep asking you to do things for me? It's just like, no. There's so many other places you can go and videos you can watch. So 60 Cloud, glad to hear you made it safe and sound to Q. Looking forward to catching up with you soon. Absolutely. Let's see. In a week or so, right? Robert Ballard. Hi, Rob. So glad to see you there, safe and sound with George and Dottie. I was a little curious on the route you might choose. We had the same dreaded thought about passing through Vegas, but you dodged that bullet nicely. Be well. So I just, put Quartzsite into Garmin, and it takes me through Vegas and winds around through to the iterations of 95 South it goes south for a little while. Then you got to cut over on like I-40, I think, and then it goes south a little, and you cut over on another road. And it's basically you want to be on the versions of 95 South. So I think there's a Nevada version, and then there's a California version, and then finally a Arizona version. But through Las Vegas, I didn't take the exact route it told me because I was following my friend Billy, and he knew more. He was leading, so he kept going when it said get on 15, Interstate 15. And so he passed it, and I called him and I said, did you mean to pass 15? He goes, yeah, there's kind of a bypass here that makes it easier. And sure enough, I think it's 215, the bypass. Anyway, even at rush hour in the morning, it was like 9 in the morning when we got there. No slowdowns, no traffic jams. It was great. Anyway, Robert Ballard, great tips and reminders on bugging out and hitting the road. That was on the Secure Everything video. We would always miss an item or two, but we paid higher attention to items that were liquid or glass. Good safety tip. Thanks again. Hi to Dottie and George. Well, let me make it clear that there's been so many times I've gotten to my destination and opened my door and looked in and went, oh my gosh, stuff everywhere. So I've learned a lot of lessons. In this time, the only fallout, and this often happens, like pieces of sand and bits of food and things that have been hiding away from my vacuum, they're present all over the floor, which is nice. It gives me a chance to clean out probably the corners and stuff that I haven't been able to get to with the vacuum. And then the first thing I do is I vacuum all that up, replace everything, put the slide out, and then introduce the animals, especially George, who's just like dying to get back out of the car. Poor George. Okay, Naj says, safe journey. And that's on Quartzsite arrival from Pahrump. Montana wife comes again and said, all the paths and roads seem so random. That's for sure. I'd get lost. And that is the end of it when I'm driving through the LTVA to my camping spot. And the whole desert is filled with these dirt roads that seem to go off in all directions that are made by people over the years traveling these different routes, right? And get lost. You bet you can get lost easily. Like even I think the second or third year I came here, I did get lost trying to get here where I camp every year. Now I don't. But let me give you a little warning if you're going to camp here. You can get to be an expert on how to get to your camp during the day. Let's say you decide, well, we're going to go to dinner tonight in Quartzsite. We're going to go to Silly Al's Pizza. And you go to Silly Al's Pizza about 4:30, 5 o'clock. And if you do that, you're going to be coming back. It's going to be night. And especially a night like there's no full moon or anything, it's dark. And suddenly everything's different, and you can deliver yourself into a panic mode because you can't get back to your camp, because you can't figure out where to go, because it's a totally different world at night. So be aware of that. Unless you are certain that you can make it back to your camp at night, don't leave and expect to find your camp coming back home. Unless, you could be camping right off the main road. Some people do. But if you're not right off the main road in an easily located place, ask me how I know. Let's see. We have Randy again. Hope you had a wonderful first day back in Quartzsite. Well, I absolutely did. That was on the comments video. Stephen Gashi says, there's also been talk of using tariffs to eliminate income tax like things were at the founding of our country. We didn't have an income tax at the founding of our country. That was much later. this isn't popular, but I've always been, why don't we have, instead of an income tax, just a 10% national federal sales tax on everything? And why do I say that? Because here's the thing. I can make a choice. I can earn the income I have, and I can make it a choice on how much of that income that I use to buy things, and therefore how much tax I pay. If I save my money, I'm not going to be taxed on it until I spend it. And if I buy a brand new camera like this one for $700 and I have to give Uncle Sam $70, well, I got no one to blame but myself. So I like the idea of with an income tax, I can save every penny of my income, but I still have to pay taxes on it as I earn it. So that I've always liked that idea. And feel free to I don't consider this politics. This is economics. When I talk about tariffs, and the only reason I'm talking about tariffs is we have a new president that's talking about leveraging the ability to use tariffs. It's not about me being a Trump fan or not a Trump fan or a Democrat or a Republican. It's my intellectual curiosity about how tariffs will work. And that's all I'm talking about. And here, we're talking about sales tax, same thing. It's economics, not politics. Politics plays a role on how and when we do these things, but certainly the fact of them is economics. Chip Miller says, glad to see you're settling in. I'm camping in an area just off where the pavement ends. White rocks on the right side and a couple of washes way back. Hope to meet you sometime. Might hike down to say hello. That's great, Chip. Just don't do it on a Friday. Friday is if you come on a Friday, you're going to encounter the sign. I think you might be able to see it up there. That it's a metal sign that goes on my door that says, video session in session, please do not disturb. And that happens all day, every Friday. That's my one day work week. But other days, come by. I'm hanging around. My truck's here. I'm here. Let's see. Cushman. CarPlay is Apple's answer to Waze, Google Maps, using CarPlay for nav instead of Garmin. Oh, okay. I was asking what he meant. My Ford, I don't think my Ford has that capability. It's got a little screen, but it doesn't have the CarPlay software on it or anything. So that would be great if I had GPS built into that and that screen is on my F-150 is the real small one. So yeah, probably the next vehicle I have will have the big screen and you could use CarPlay. Yeah, I get what you mean now. I was confused. Sorry, Cushman, but thanks for explaining. Your outdoor is the name in Quartzsite arrival from Pahrump, and he says 2 a.m. with a sad face. Oh, was I talking about, I might have been up at 2 a.m. having to redo a video. I think maybe that's it. I was talking about, I couldn't sleep and I got up and I did a bunch of video editing at 2 a.m. And yeah, it made me sad too. Now I know what you're talking about. RV Adventure Travel says, we'll be starting our LTVA season next Thursday. This would be our 25th year of spending some amount of time in La Posa South. Wow, that's a lot. I was puffed up 4 years. 25? Holy moly. Our first time was with our boys when we all thought the power grid was going to shut down with Y2K. We were all prepared. We've been back every year since, minus the children. So yeah, that was 25 years ago. We were all thought everything's gonna be crashing down when the clock goes to 2000. I didn't think so. I was working in the business world. So 2000, I was working for a tech company and around a bunch of programmers, and they're all saying, no, it's not that hard. We fixed all our software. There's no. So I was pretty confident. Let's see. Lisa Roth, glad you're in Q. I just left Connecticut today and on my way back to Q myself. That's great. Lisa, her trailer is here and her kitties are here, and the ladies in camp are taking care of the kitties. Lisa had to go back to the East Coast for a family thing. And so she left yesterday, Connecticut. So I'm going to guess, I'm hoping, Lisa, you take a good solid week to make that long drive from the East Coast all the way here, just leisurely, nice pace. Your cats are fine. Your trailer's fine. We're watching everything. Everything's cool. We got all winter to spend, all of us spend time together. Just take it easy. Don't get overtired. Drive safely. And look forward to seeing you. Steve Hudson. On the Tacopa adventure. Oh, I like this one. So, nice video. Laugh out loud at Delight's comment, though. Definitely adults only. Definitely not a swingers resort. I stayed there that weekend, and none of that was going on. In fact, they require bathing suits in the pools and tubs, something no self-respecting swingers club would ever do. So, in my defense, I'm traveling with my friend who's saying, well, I've been here before, and we were going to go to this RV park that looked like the nicest one, and someone told us it was a swingers place, so we didn't go. And it's called Delights. And it's got a Delight sign and everything, and I'm like, that's kind of funny. But Steve is saying, that's not right. That's not true. So I kind of feel bad about saying that about an RV resort. But luckily, only about 500 or 600 people saw the video. And certainly one that knew better. And now we're kind of setting the record straight. Thanks, Steve. That's funny. So it bothers me a little bit because misinformation on my channel is not something I'm comfortable with at all, but I don't think it's a big enough deal for me to just take down the video or anything. Maybe I'll do a pinned comment there that basically says, hey, it's a little misinformation there. Delight's RV Resort is certainly not a swinger place. On the road with Tenzin. Thank you. I'm hoping to make my first trip to La Posa South in a month or so. I'm coming from Sacramento, California, solo female van camper. Funny, I went solo to India last winter. Traveled 4 months there, but Arizona seems like a bigger deal. Well, how interesting that, and actually, I checked her out. Hang on, let me make sure I've got this right. Her channel is On the Road with Tenzin, Tenzin. Where did I see that? Traveling India solo as a senior Buddhist nun. That's what I said. This lady is a senior Buddhist nun. So, and it's On the Road with Tenzin, Tenzin. She's only got 17 subscribers, but she's got 5 videos so far, and they look pretty interesting. Let me tell you, yikes, my tuk-tuk journey across Ganga. India is budget-friendly, essential upfront expenses, medical and physical considerations before going to India, questions to consider before going to India, part 1, On the Road with Tenzo channel intro. So, she got good views on this most recent one. Journey across Ganga to tour Rannajar Fort in Varanasi. 482 views. That's respectable. For someone with 17 subscribers, it's a huge amount of views. So check her out. All right. What do we have after that? Marcel Olney. I've been following Herbie and Bob too. All right. Let's see. Oh, there's another channel. There were two guys, and the other channel. Let's get it up here. Let's be fair. And RVing with G. So let's look that one up. That's another guy, and that was he goes by G. So let's go RVing with G. And there he is. So I met G at the Spot last year, I think. And let's see, he's got 458 subscribers. He's got 142 videos. So we're going to... Oh, I'm already subscribed to him. I didn't realize it. Cool. So videos. Let's see if he has a recent one here. No, he doesn't have he does not have a recent one. Get going there, G. Do some videos. Interview me. Let's see. Steve Woods on the 10 things you don't know about RVing and Quartzsite. That's a couple months old now. Thank you. Great video. Very helpful. Thank you, Steve, for saying that. Nathan, living our journey. A frequent commenter on my Quartzsite arrival video. What a nice, no chaos drive to Quartzsite. It's always fun to see and feel your excitement to get there. We definitely share the same of excitement for the queue. Can't wait to get there and experience the sights and sound that only Quartzsite can provide. Well said. Well said, Nathan. Chris says, when does Paul get in? Okay. I need to make some guesses here. I don't know who Paul is. So, one, you might have confused me with someone else. Or two, you might mean Billy that I was following down here. And we ended up going separately because he had to go really slow. And with two of us going real slow on single lane highway, it was no bueno. He was gonna, first I invited him to camp with us. And then he decided, hey, I don't have like a tow car or anything. He's in a Class A. I need to be near town. So he was going to go. I suggested he camp at La Posa West, which you can park pretty close to town so you can walk into town. And he sent me a text and he said he decided to go on to Yuma. So he's in Yuma. So if that's not who you meant, help me understand who Paul is. Because either you've mixed me up with somebody else, or I have a friend named Paul and I've forgotten about him. Paul. Check that out. Okay, I think that's it, but let me do a reload. That's it. And let me tell you the other couple of videos that I have out today. I have another, my first real first day Quartzsite video I'm excited about. It's called the thumbnail says my first 24/25 Quartzsite video. Join me, Quartzsite. The title is Join Me, Quartzsite First Day. And that is being released right now. I'm going to mark it from unlisted to public. It's 6:25 a.m. I've been talking for a while, huh? And then we have, let's see, Elephants and Bees is my positive video. That should pique your interest a little bit. Elephants, what do elephants and bees have in common? Well, if you want to find out, watch my positive news video on elephants and bees. So that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow. My first day in Quartzsite where I'm not working all day. I'm excited about that. Take care, and I'll see you soon. I appreciate you. I really do.